I genuinely think that I had the greatest high school job ever. Some weekends I could go home with over $500 in cash tips. And if you asked me what's the one job you'd go back to and do again tomorrow if you could, it's this one. I worked at a marina during the summer months of high school and my first 2 years at community college from the years of 2010 to 2016. Most people hear marina and probably imagine pumping fuel, pumping out water tanks, and cleaning boats, but here's the thing, there is no fuel dock, no pumping out water, no cleaning the boats. I got the nice parts of working at a marina without having to do the dirty work. I spent summers outside in the sun, surrounded by water, helping boaters dock their boats, talking to people who seemed to always be in a good mood, and collecting cash tips that honestly felt unreal for a high schooler. I would finish my shift, empty pockets, split with whoever I was working with, and realize that I made more in tips over a single weekend than some of my friends were making in an entire week working fast food or retail. The money isn't even the reason I remember that job so fondly. It was the atmosphere, the sunshine, the boats, the people. Every day felt like summer vacation that just happened to come with a paycheck. Now I'm 30 years old, and sometimes after losing myself in spreadsheets and emails, I catch myself reminiscing about the job where my biggest KPI was how many boats can we fit on this dock. Welcome back to AFK Wealth, where we talk about personal finance over gameplay. Today, I want to switch things up and go over how I found a job that felt like summer vacation and paid incredibly well at the time. I'm going to talk about a few bullet points regarding what made this job so incredible. Number one, it never felt like work. The main reason boaters came to this marina is because there was a popular restaurant right next to it that had live music on weekends and good food and drinks. So this marina was split into two sections, the boaters who came for the restaurant and the boaters who owned marina slips. I would help both halves of the marina, and the main purpose of me being there is to make sure that boaters felt safe and confident when docking. A boat would approach the dock, throw me their lines, and I would make sure that they get to the dock safely. So it really was like a big puzzle game with expensive puzzle pieces. We had limited dock space and high demand, especially on weekends, so I was incentivized by volume. The more boats I could fit on the dock, the more potential tips I could collect. The boating world is very interesting because some people know exactly what they're doing and some people have no idea. The good thing about both of these people is that if they're pulling into a marina and a dockhand is waiting there, they're going to take the help because a boat is an expensive toy, and as easy as it sounds, docking a boat can actually be extremely difficult without someone to grab lines. So I truly got to see the full spectrum of the people at this job. We had multi-millionaire customers with over 100-foot yachts and charter businesses. We had speedboats, sailboats, party people. I'd look up and realize that I was getting paid while everyone else was paying to enjoy their vacation or their weekend. Another thing that made this job so good was the customers always seemed to be in vacation mode. So, unlike retail or fast food jobs where customers always seem to be in a rush and tense, these customers were typically always relaxed and happy. This shift in the customer can really change everything about customer service. Another thing that made this job so lucrative was the cash tips were insane. On busy shifts, I would have to walk back to the small office we had, empty my pockets because they couldn't hold any more cash. And I'm not exaggerating here. People really did appreciate the help and attention to detail when helping them dock their boats. Cars and houses are typically the two biggest financial choices people make, but a boat is right behind there. I docked boats that cost a few $1,000s up to millions of dollars. Dinghies, cigarette boats, sailboats, massive yachts. On holiday weekends like the 4th of July and Labor Day, we would be swamped. Boats would be idling around, waiting for spots to open up so that they could get in. Demand was greater than the supply of space we had available. These were always the most lucrative weekends for earning cash. Tips were always split evenly with whoever was working during those hours, and if somebody's shift was ending and I was going to continue working, the tips would get split before they left so that they could leave with their cash. On top of this, I was making minimum wage at the time, which I believe was $7 or a little higher. Another aspect that made this job so great was the simple responsibilities I had. As I mentioned earlier, this marina did not have a fuel dock. There was no boat storage, no handling of the boats, no winterization, no cleaning. So my main responsibilities were really quite easy. I had to catch the lines from boats to make sure they docked and undocked safely, people stayed happy, and the marina was kept clean. One of my duties was literally walking up and down the docks, brushing away spider webs with an old broom. Another aspect of what made this job so great and why I have such fond memories of it are the people I worked with and got to interact with. I worked here with two of my very close friends, which made everything so much more fun. Also, during the slow parts of the day, I could just chat with the customers and have conversations, and this really helped me develop some soft skills. During busy parts of the day, especially on weekends, many people, came to the restaurant for music, the drinks, the food, the friends. So by the end of the night, some of these people were actually too drunk to drive home and they would have to sleep on their boats. Working with my friends during the busy rushes and moving around boats to create more space always felt so high stakes. I mean, these boats cost tens of thousands of dollars, all the way up to millions, and we're moving them around like true professionals. The adrenaline was real, and things could move fast in an instant. This job also taught me some lessons that I still carry with me today. It taught me a lot about customer service and how to read people. Talking to customers all day long, making them feel welcome and comfortable is something that I could see direct results from. If someone really enjoys you and the service that you provide, they're either going to be more likely to leave a tip or more likely to leave a larger tip than they initially planned to. This job also taught me how to show up on time. Now, I never really had a big problem with showing up to something that I committed to, and I think I can credit that to playing sports and my upbringing. But, during this job, I didn't have a car, so there was multiple times where my ride fell through to work, and I would have to walk or ride my bike to work. Looking back now, it's easy to see how amazing of a job this was. Most of my friends were working at Jimmy John's, Jet's Pizza, or retail, and some days when I was done with my shift, I would actually get picked up via boat from the marina. So that always felt so cool to me, leaving my work shift, going directly on a boat to relax and enjoy the rest of the day. Now the marina has changed. The last time I went there, I saw that the property was sold, and I believe they're now using most of that dock space for boat rentals. Sometimes I think about those summers, no mortgage, no meetings, no emails, just sunshine, boats, great people, and enough cash to make a teenager feel rich. I've had jobs that paid more, I've had jobs with better benefits, but if you ask me what's the best job I've ever had was, I'd still say working at that marina during high school. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.